Well, hello there, my friends, and welcome to a new episode of the live show From Patients to Superfans, where we dive into how to create amazing customer experiences your patients will rave about. My name is Matteo Trisolini. I help healthcare companies and teams start their customer experience revolution by turning their patients into brand ambassadors. On today's live show, we are going to talk about what needs to happen before our teams are ready to build and deliver those amazing, magical moments to our patients. The point is, we can have the most scripted and rehearsed customer experience training manual, a manual that our team and team members are going to devour, are going to learn by heart. They're going to practice until it's perfect, only to find out that they're still delivering transactions and not experiences. And this might be because maybe they don't have a common goal to work towards, or maybe they don't share common values, or maybe simply they don't know how to connect at a human level with our patients. So to sort this all out, today I'm bringing on the show a specialist, a friend, the Zappos Inside, former Zappos Inside Speaker of the House, our friend Erica Javallena, aka Java. Hi, Java.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Well, thank you so much for making time for us.
Always.
I know this is crazy busy time for everybody.
Yeah.
So before we start, we dive into the topic. I would like to, first of all, introduce you to everybody. And I want to just talk about how we met, because we know each other.
We
I don't know if you remember.
Yes,
Go
we
ahead.
are now. You and I say we're family, right? Friends that are family, because I met you in, the years might be off, so you correct me, but I met you in 2016 was the first time you came to Zappos. As Matteo mentioned, I am the former Speaker of the House for Zappos Insights. And what we did was we actually were a business within the business of Zappos, where we shared the company culture. And so Matteo visited us to join us at Culture Camp. Yeah, a few times. So 2016, and I remember you the very first time. You were very quiet. You were shy, and it's funny that and he came to visit us in 2017. You didn't show up on 2018, but you did visit us in 2019. And it's funny because I think every year, the first year, I want to say you were in the back in the corner, sitting at a table, quiet. And then the second time you came around, I think you were in the middle, in the mix.
Yes.
Slowly engaging. And then it's funny because in 2019, you were up front and you were like my focal point every time, because you were just there and you were always smiling.
You know, when a fan goes to the concert or their favorite celebrity or their favorite musician, and they can like mouth say the words, or like whisper to them. I know. Yeah. Finally, I know. I gotta tell you, the first time I really felt like an imposter. I didn't know any of the words that you guys were using. I am serious. So I want to show everybody this picture. This is, I believe this is 2017, right?
I think that's true. Yes, that's the 2017.
And this is at the all hands, Zappos All Hands. So for whoever is watching this is the craziest thing on earth. When I attended, the 3 times that I attended the culture camp with Java, where Java was basically the presenter, she was everything. She was managing and talking to us and presenting, and then introducing all the presenters as well. Well, they also took us on the last day. They took us each time to the all hands, which is the company meeting, which is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And there we are in the theater just watching this show, because it was a show. Amazing. This is one of my favorite pictures as well.
Good times. Yeah. And I have to say, those 2 ladies in the picture, it wasn't just me. I was definitely the face in the front, but the behind the scenes action, we were a team of about 6 people, man. The effort that everybody put into that, Krista, Imali, Missy, Kristen, Amy. I think Mike Stith was on the team at the time, and then
Yep.
it just well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
And so yes.
I love all the people in this picture. And as we dive into the topic today, I will bring them back because I will talk about your team. Yes, you were the face of the culture camp, but there is a lot going on in the background that people don't see. So I'll talk about it in a second. I don't want to spoil it.
Sure.
But what I would like to do is, again, before we dive in, I want to play your favorite game.
Oh gosh, okay. It's always tougher when it's turned around.
I know. I stole it from you, from your Instagram lives. In fact, I do call it the Java rapid fire questions.
Oh, awesome! I love that.
So, first question. All right. What is your favorite girls' night out drink?
Girls' night out drink will probably be. I keep it very light. It's going to be white wine.
I knew that.
Because I'm out. Yeah, because I'm out. If I really know that I'm like, all right, I'm going to get a little more tipsy, I then do like Jameson and ginger ale.
There you go.
Yes.
All right. Second question very quickly is, what's the first thing you do in the morning?
I am ashamed to say, but I know half the world does it, if not more, is I reach for my phone, right? And it's also because my kids are, I'm an empty nester most of the time, and the kids are out. So I always like to make sure that there's not some crazy text.
You don't need to justify it. We all do it. We just don't say it.
I know, it's awful. Right? No, I'd like to say, I get up and I meditate immediately.
On my phone.
I've got to turn that Calm app on. That's what it is.
Yes. Last question. I'll wake up finish this sentence, please. I'll wake up tomorrow morning and I'll be in
a hotel in San Diego, if you could tell. I'm in San Diego, so I will be in a hotel in San Diego, and the weather is amazing here.
Thank you for playing the game. So let's dive into the concept. Okay. And I want to make sure that we're honest, because if this show is something or anything, it's honest. Building a team in itself, not only is a lot of work, but it's really difficult. Now, building a winning team, it's triple the work.
Yes.
And speaking of this, as I told you, I wanted to talk about your team, because my experience watching you guys in action, especially the first time when I didn't know what anything was or what was going to happen, right? I remember one time, in the very first day, in the very first few minutes, you asked everybody to stand up, introduce themselves, and tell what we do, where we come from, but also to tell you what our favorite snack was, like the impulse snack, right?
Yeah.
And so everybody went through that. And then we went through the day, we went to lunch, we came back. And all of a sudden, when we come back to the room, to the conference room, everybody had their favorite impulse snack at their desk waiting for them. Yes. Now, to organize all this and to create this surprise moment, which creates a gap in expectations and, and creates the magic moment, there's a lot of work that goes into it. Only the second time, when I knew this might happen, right, I was watching the other team members slacking people, and I was picturing in my head there was somebody at the supermarket as we were telling these things.
Right, on like a CB radio. Yes, right. Yes, it is. Again, it is. It's quite the task. It was the idea of surprise to wow and surprise, right? And so that was one of the big things that we would do to kind of, again, number one, build a connection, let our guests know that we were listening to them. And, it's always nice. Everybody likes snacks, right? So what's tough is we would get people from all over the world. So when they would say something that was like a Brazilian snack, I could see the secret elves that were helping, like, oh man, I think you caught on that you'd catch me, like, I'm like probing a little more, like, oh, what kind, like, is it a chocolate? Is it dark? Is it milk? Is it, So it's trying to
Right.
get as detailed as possible so that the secret elves that are listening and helping can catch on too. But yes, it's something that
That
is
was a production. And then my point is that you need a team that is connected, a team that believes in the same values, that believes in the same mission. Now, my first question to you is, what needs to happen before a team is even ready to put together this show, to deliver these magical
for
moments?
sure. I think early on in your introduction, you touched on it was first a company, an organization, or a team, if it's not within a manager, supervisor's job, if they can't do it, if it's outside of their scope of, that they can actually make these huge changes within the organization, the company, but maybe they can just do it for their small team, is find the values that mean the most to that team, right? So find the values that are important, and then stick by those values. And then if you're a company or a leader or an organization that is first starting to, hire people, hire based off of those values. What does that mean? Are the people in line with what you believe in? And so when you have that, when you have people that are in line and, with your values and your mission, or, your what you truly believe in, then it kind of just happens. It organically happens, because really you're hiring for people that are going to believe in what you also believe in.
Right.
So I
Right.
think identify those, and then identify the values, and then make sure
Yeah.
you hire the right people. A lot of people will hire just to fill a position, right? Because they need somebody right away. And
Right.
that could be detrimental to a team, because if you're hiring just to put a warm body into a role, then that person may not be the right fit.
Right.
And what it's harder, and all it takes, you got to remember, all it takes is one bad apple to kind of ruin and be toxic to the entire team.
Absolutely.
And with that, I think the hiring piece is, let the rest of the team have a say in who's hired. So not only is it the
I think
hiring
that's a
manager.
great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't mean to interrupt you, but
No.
I can see in the viewers' minds right now, especially in healthcare, when things are going really fast and we need to replace people really fast, all that we sometimes think about is we need one extra body because we can't support this,
Right.
this much work for this long. But it totally makes sense. And I learned from you guys that I need to hire slower and fire faster, but specifically hire slower. And that has changed a lot in how the type of talent that we can bring on the team. It takes a long time to do that.
It should, right? It takes, if you're inviting somebody into your family, you want to make sure it's the right person. And the great thing about it not just being up to one person, that hiring manager or whoever it may be, the great thing about making sure everybody's included in that is, maybe one person caught something during an interview that you as a hiring manager didn't catch, and they can give that feedback. They also then the team feels like there's an ownership, like, wow, I really get to have a say in who's joining us.
Yeah. So the one thing that we need to change right away, we can start changing right now in our medical practices, is change the way that you do interviews, right? Right now we're doing them on Zoom. I am personally inviting the whole team on Zoom to participate. Yeah. When it was in person, I would have the person who's interviewing for the job spend some time with a little bit with everybody, just to have a conversation. It wasn't about skills. It was about, what do you like to do on Saturday night type of thing, and that has helped a lot. So yes, let's change the way that we think about hiring and interviewing. That's a great one. And involving the whole team, it's a great idea, Java. Thank you for sharing that.
For sure.
So then, how I was also saying that most companies, because we give them a training manual, and this is how we do things, these are the protocols, these are the guidelines. Here, this is the experience that you're supposed to give. So it's so cold that we're stuck we stay at the transaction level of giving this experience. which means we make sure that our patients have an appointment booked or they get a school form, but we leave it at that. And I feel that when we leave it at that, we don't make a connection. We miss out on the opportunity of establishing a relationship, which is one of the keywords that I learned from you guys.
Yes. Yes, building relationships is a big piece. I think what we forget is when we hire people, we tell, our team, our employees that, okay, it's all about customer service. But as a team leader, we have to keep in mind that our employees, our team members are our internal customer. So what can I do to make sure that I'm providing them that great service just the same as we are providing to our external guests, right? And so that's a big piece. And it sums up to building the relationships, not just with the external guests, but also with the internal employee, the internal team member.
Let's spend a little more time on this, because this is a concept that most people don't understand. And it takes a mindset shift to understand that, first of all, who is your customer? For all of us in primary care, in healthcare, in medical practice, or in hospitals, who are our customers? Our customers are not just our patients. This is really important. My customers are also my team. I have responsibilities towards them. I need to make sure they have all the tools they need to be successful at what they do. They have the same responsibility towards me. I am their customer. This is a really difficult concept to grasp. Can you help us out? Like, what can we do to understand this?
I think, one of the things that I learned is being in a leadership position, a lot of times there's not that approachable factor, right, for team members. And I think that wall needs to be broken down first and foremost, and that it's about building the relationship with your team members, your employees, and by doing that, it's just getting to know them on a personal level, not just so that way they don't just see it as I clock in, I clock out 9 to 5, but get to know them, do rapid fire questions with them so that you get to know them, know that, that they have a baby on the way, or that maybe, they're engaged, or to know those things about them that normally most managers or supervisors stay away from because I don't want to get too attached.
It's too personal.
What's wrong with that? Get attached. You shouldn't be attached, right? Because if there's an attachment, people aren't going to ever want to leave you. They're going to be loyal, right? So I think that's the biggest.
And I think that's also the secret, is to try to understand, how I talk about turning your patients into your brand ambassadors, into your super fans. You should do the same thing with your team members. And not just because you want them to love you. It's because you want to give them a home. Yeah.
You want them to be proud of where they work, and that they can tell people and they're excited, and and it feels good if also as a leader that they're proud of you, that I work for this guy, and I truly look up to this him or her as a mentor, and not just a manager, not just the supervisor. So
see, what I like to tell my teammates is that you don't work for me, you work with me. We're at the same level. It doesn't matter what my official title is. Speaking of title, let's break from the topic for a second, because you are the former Zappos Insights Speaker of the House. What does that even mean?
Well, it's nothing like Nancy Pelosi. However,
why not?
It is, it was just a cool name that I really had the cool role, the cool gig of being able to travel all over the world and speak on behalf of the company, Zappos at the time, and share what they truly believed in, which was company culture and the values that, really built the company.
Yeah. And I can tell you were amazing at that.
Thank you.
I mean, you're amazing in a lot of things, but I couldn't stop looking at you and listening to you when you were on stage talking, because it just comes so natural. And I'm like, I want to be like her.
It's easy when you're passionate about it, right? It's just when you're passionate about it and it's something you believe in, it's easy. It's easy because you're just sharing. Yeah. And
So
And
can we say that changing your title to something that is so not formal, like we have the title, oh, company director or strategist or whatever, right?
right.
If you actually put something a little more human in your unofficial title, that's also a way to break down that barrier, right? So I changed my title immediately in 2016. I went back from you guys, I went back to Brooklyn, and I changed my title from, I think it was company director, something like that, I can't remember, to cultural revolutionary, because that's what you assigned me. You gave me that. And I'm like, that's what I want to be. That's what I
Yeah.
want them to think that I do, because that's what I do.
Yeah. And
And that, yeah,
it's
it helps.
okay. That makes sense, right? Like it makes
It does.
sense. Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to us. I'm hoping that it makes
Right.
sense also to whoever is watching, because
And I'm starting to see that more and more. If you look on LinkedIn, you see a lot of people now
yeah.
kind of with some very informal and super cool, titles. And it kind of almost makes you go, I want to know more, right? And versus, director of whatever.
Yeah,
But I think if you
exactly.
add some personality and pizzazz to it, people are more, intrigued.
Yeah, I agree with you. So far we said that what we need to do right away, the 2 to 3 things that we need to do right away are, we need to change the way that we hire, and we need to hire per value alignment, per company culture alignment. We need to break down those barriers and create relationships internally with our teammates,
Yep.
and also think about them as our customers, right? What would be a third thing that we can do to
As
change things around?
a third thing, let's see. We talked about connection. I would say that once you have the team, make sure all the team members feel included, that there's inclusivity, right? And I don't know who I heard this from, but it stuck with me. Gosh, I wish I could give credit to this quote. I don't know if I read it, I heard it, I have no idea, but it stuck with me. And it was, you hear about diversity, and diversity is about being invited to the party, inviting everyone, and everyone's invited to the party. But inclusion is about getting people to dance at the party. And that stuck with me, that you can say you're part of the team, everyone, but what are you going to do to make sure that people are coming out of their shell and truly being a part of the team? So I think inclusion. Right. So whether it be at a team building, they should be able to have a say in, hey, let's do this, or I'd like this, and I think it goes hand in hand with, you build that connection, and people having a platform to be able to speak and communicate comfortably within the team.
Right. Yeah. And that's, it's something that I learned to a couple of conferences, that it's called psychological safety, and how to build that in your team so that everybody knows that they have a voice, that they're included, that they can come up with their own ideas and bring them to the table without feeling that they're going to be punished for it, for example, right? Yeah. That's, all of these things are wonderful. They're also hard to implement and also to maintain, because you don't just start and then forget about it. You have to work on it every single day. And I can see why a lot of companies in my field especially prefer to just keep going as they are going, because things are okay. We're making revenue anyway. But the thing is that, are you proud of what you're creating? What is your higher purpose of what you're doing? Are you just taking temperatures, or are you establishing a relationship?
Yeah. If you can, it's so simple, right? Like if you could just build the connection, if you can build a relationship, it can take and speak volumes and make such grand changes within your business. It's so simple. And again, with the team members, I think connection is everyone genuinely has to like each other, right? Have that. And you hear often that, I don't have to like each other, I just have to work with them. No, because that'll never work, right? You have to genuinely like each other as a team. And I think it starts with hiring the right people and building those relationships.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you for your time. We are at 25 minutes. which is a break, but it's good. It's
I mean,
awesome.
you and I could probably talk for 2 hours.
I
I don't know if
know.
anyone would listen, but
Totally
you.
can. Yeah. So I want to
Yes.
tell everybody, if you want to get in touch with Java is on LinkedIn. We will post the link to her profile in the comment section here. Hey, we got some comments here. Look at this.
Oh my goodness!
I'm gonna put it on.
Is it
Look
my
at this.
mom? Is it my
Probably your
relative?
mom. It's my daughter. So Java is on LinkedIn. If you guys want to reach out to her. Also, I want to put on some banners for all of you guys in case you're wondering. We do have some groups here. We have a LinkedIn group that you can join. It's called From Patients to Superfans, of course. We also have a Facebook group that is called the 5-Star Healthcare Customer Experience. There we go. Thank you again, Java. This was really fantastic. I want to thank everybody for watching. Share with your friends, and we'll see you for sure next Friday for another episode of the 5-Minute Fridays, and next Tuesday for one more new LinkedIn live show.
Love you, Mateo.
Love you too.